Yo, this your boy, the Real McCoy, coming at you, man. Talking about boxing for all my boxing heads out there, man. You know what I mean? Been talking about the heavyweight division that's definitely on the come up, on the rise. We all know that's well established by now. And looking at 2016, there was a specific date that jumped out at me. I was like, whoa, there's a lot going on this day in the heavyweight division, and that's January 16th. 2016, of course, but January 16th, and I was like, man, this is a big day for the heavyweight division, man. I mean, if you're a boxing head, or especially if you're a fan of the heavyweight division, January 16th is a day that you want to be tuned in and glued to your TV and see what's going on. A lot of meaningful and impactful fights at the heavyweight division, In Dallas, I think in Dallas, in Texas, in Dallas, you got Andy Ruiz. A heavyweight prospect on the come up, 26-0, 17 knockouts, 26 years old. I don't believe his opponent has been named yet. You know what I mean? So he'll probably be some journeyman, another guy just add on to the resume till he gets the bigger fights. But Andy Ruiz, you know what I mean? He fights on January 16th in Dallas, no doubt. You also got David Haye. Haymaker Hay, he's coming back in the O2, I think the O2 Arena over in the UK, in London. That's what Anthony Joshua and Dillian White, I think that's where they fought. He's coming back. David Haye, he's fighting Mark DeMori. Now Mark DeMori is interesting, not a household name, but he has 30 wins, and out of those 30 wins, 26 are knockouts. So he's bringing some power now. Could be a dangerous fight for David Haye. If David Haye, does he still have that lightning quick hand speed and punching power and athleticism that he possessed? Not a big heavyweight, things like that, but could be a dangerous fight. David Haye, he long layoff. I think David Haye's last fight was 2012, like June, July 2012. That's almost 4 years. It's not like basketball, like kind of a Jordan retire, come back. Boxing can be a brutal sport. If he doesn't have the reflexes like he once had, like a Roy Jones. Roy Jones Jr. doesn't have the reflexes he once had. He's getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Not saying David Haye will, but boxing can be a brutal sport, man. He's fighting a power puncher, Mark DeMori. David Haye say even before his last fight was 2012. And even before that, in the years leading up to that fight, he wasn't really that active. I believe David Haye fought once in 2009, and I think twice in 2010, once in 2011, and then once in 2012, and he hasn't fought since. So he hasn't been, for whatever reason, he hasn't been that active. And 3.5 years, almost 4 years later, now he comes back fighting a power puncher, a guy who wants to, build his resume, and beating David Haye could definitely do that, So that's interesting, what I mean? That's also January 16th, I was like, man, it's a lot going on January 16th. But the card that I'm most interested in, like most of us probably will be, especially here in the States, is January 16th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, we just saw Daniel Jacobs knock out Peter Quillen in the first round at the Barclays Center. On that card, I believe it's 3 heavyweights on that card. We got Dominique Brazil. Dominique, he was supposed to be fighting Charles Martin over the weekend. Charles Martin pulled out of that fight to fight for the vacant IBF title. I don't blame Charles Martin for that. But we got Dominique Brazil fighting Amir Mansour. Mansour, kind of up in age, but a veteran in the game. Mansour's name came up as a possible opponent for Deontay Wilder. Mansour's name came up, Shannon Briggs' name came up, but we got Dominique Brazil and Mansour. If Brazil wins that's a good resume builder for him. A young up and coming prospect. Mansour wins, I beat this young prospect. Hey, don't forget about me. As far as at the elite level, you know what I mean? That could be interesting. Then we got Charles Martin, who was scheduled to fight Brazil. He's fighting I can't say his first name, Glasgow, for the vacant I believe it's the IBF title. Glasgow name came up for opponent for Tyson Fury. after Fury beat Klitschko. But I think Fury and Klitschko are gonna rematch. I think Glasgow name came up for a possible Wilder opponent as well, I believe. This is on the same card. Dominique Breazeale, Amir Mansour, Charles Martin, and Glasgow for the vacant IBF title. I mean, that's huge for those. That's going to be a huge fight. You know what I mean? For the now, these guys say, I got a title now. You know, then also the main event on that card, another heavyweight fight. Deontay Wilder, the WBC champ right now. He's fighting Artur Szpilka. I've talked about that fight. You know, Szpilka's athleticism and light on his feet. You know what I mean? Hand speed possibly could give, you know what I mean, get in, if he can jab and get inside Wilder's reach, his movement could give him some trouble. Don't know. Don't know. You know, with Szpilka, you don't know, but that's all on the same card. Dominique Breazeale, Amir Mansour, Charles Martin, Glasgow, Deontay Wilder, and Artur Szpilka. I was like, man, because I some of you guys probably already noticed it, but I was like, whoa, I didn't catch that at first. I was like, man, all these fights are on January 16th. You know what I mean? So like I say, if you're a boxing head, and especially if you're a fan of the heavyweight division, January 16th is a day that you want to be tuned in to your TV and watching these fights. Me personally, I'm definitely, especially here living in the States, I'm definitely interested in that card at the Barclays Center. You know what I mean? 3 heavyweight fights, impactful, meaningful heavyweight fights. Even the Dominique Breazeale, Amir Mansour fight is impactful. You know what I mean? Especially for Breazeale, who's trying to come up, making his way up. You add a Mansour to the resume. I mean, that's no doubt it's going to help. And if Mansour beat this young prospect, hey, don't forget about me, you know what I mean? Martin and Glasgow fighting for a vacant title, IBF. Come on, big time stuff, man. I was like, man, I noticed it January 16th. I said, okay, I gotta mark that day on the calendar. You know what I'm saying? Definitely gotta be tuned in. And David Haye making his return. Andy Ruiz Jr. is also fighting on January 16th. These are all big, you know, heavyweight fights, prospects, title fights. You know what I mean? Return to the ring fights for David Haye. So, man, it's good stuff, man. If I had to pick a fight that I was the most interested in out of all of these, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Charles Martin Glasgow, for the simple fact, you know, both guys are trying to make a household name for themselves, and it's for a title. I know Deontay Wilder's fight is for a title as well with Szpilka, but I think Wilder is the clear favorite in that fight. You know, I think most of us want to see Wilder fight better competition anyway. But with Charles Martin and Glasgow for a vacant title, these guys who are trying to make a name for themselves, you know, that'd be an interesting fight, man. Interesting fight. So January 16th, man, boxing heads, heavyweight fans, just all boxing heads. January 16th, man, early in the year, 2015 was a great year for boxing. January 16th is kicking off at 2016 with a great year. So I'm definitely interested in the Barclays Center. I'm interested in that fight card. David Haye in the UK, Andy Ruiz in Texas. Don't know who his opponent is going to be just yet, but I was like, man, January 16th, gotta be tuned in, boxing heads. You gotta be tuned in. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Which of these fights are you most interested in? You know, how do you see these fights shaking up in the heavyweight division? You know, we just had Luis Ortiz knocking out Brian Jennings. Anthony Joshua knocked out Dillian White. Tyson Fury beats Vladimir Klitschko. We got Charles Martin, oh man, David Haye could be coming back. He don't know how he's gonna look. He could still look spectacular. We don't know. We don't know, man. January 16th, man. Mark it on your calendars, man. Mark it on your calendars. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff, man. And let me know what you guys think. I'm a boxing heads, man. This your boy, The Real McCoy, man. I'm out. January 16th, man. Tune in. I'm out. Peace.